All right, one last example here on spheres. We're going to do surface area of a quarter of a sphere because we have a concert shell that's in the shape of a quarter of a sphere with a radius of 80 feet, and we're going to paint it. And 1 gallon of paint is going to cover 400 square feet, so we want to know how much paint is needed to cover the outside of the shell. So how much paint do we need to paint this quarter of a sphere, which is a concert shell? So we have to figure out a couple of things here. The first thing we have to figure out is the surface area of the sphere. If it's a whole sphere, that surface area is going to be 4 pi r squared because this is the formula to find the surface area of a sphere. However, in this case, it's not a whole sphere, it's a quarter of a sphere. So that means it's 1/4 of the sphere. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the surface area of the whole sphere, which would be 80 squared times pi times 4 because the radius is 80, but then we're going to divide that by 4 because it's just a quarter of a sphere. So this would be the surface area of the whole sphere, however, it's just a quarter, so we're going to divide it by 4. So we'll do the arithmetic here, 80 squared times pi times 4. What's going to happen essentially is this 4 and this 4 will cancel out, so we'll get pi times 80 squared. 80 squared is going to be 6,400. So we do 6,400 times pi, changing that to 3.14. The decimal approximation will be 20,106.2. That's the surface area of the quarter of a shell, because we've accounted for the fact that it's a quarter by dividing by 4 here. 400 square feet is what 1 gallon of paint will cover. So we know how many gallons of paint are we going to need. So we'll take the 20,106.2 and divide it by 400, which will give us approximately 50.2. This tells us how many gallons of paint we'll need. So we'll need 50.2 gallons of paint. So if we're going to go to wherever and pick up paint, we're not going to ask for 50.2 because I'm pretty sure they just sell them by the gallon. So we're going to ask for 51 gallons of paint to paint this quarter sphere, which is this concert shell.